お前らのキャプテンならな、食っちめって。
Last episode, we saw the best of Luffy, Zoro, and Usopp. Usopp showed that despite his lies, he cares deeply for Kaya and the rest of his village. Luffy and Zoro want to put their lives on the line because they respect Usopp and want to help him. Nami's been traveling with Luffy and Zoro, and she's been clear that she is only working with them while their goals align. She has her own motivations that drive her, and Zoro and Luffy respect that. Yet, none of them are fighting with Usopp because they pity him. I don't mean to rehash all of the last episode, but this is the first real moment that captures the essence of One Piece. It's a story of a small crew that is stronger as a whole because there's love and respect between the individuals in that crew. In this case, the four of them are able to come together to try and defeat a foe that they couldn't stop alone. The fact that they cannot succeed alone doesn't weigh down their spirits. Even if their enemies appear insurmountable, they can stand their ground with confidence because together they know they have a chance to win. That was where we left things in the last episode. In this episode, Usopp reveals his plan, but we know that things won't be that easy. The story relies on a back and forth, so we know that the pirates will find a way to get past the greased up slope, and that the heroes will need to respond. However, it does feel like their chance of success will only work if they can outmaneuver the Kuro pirates. With enough planning, they can build on their confidence and know that following their plan will lead to victory. As we know, that's not quite how it goes. Usopp failed to remember that there was actually another point of entry for the Kuro pirates, and that his whole plan was useless before the battle had even begun. Luffy gets lost running to that second point of entry because he was told to run north, and decided to run in the direction that felt the coldest. Nami accidentally falls into the trap that she helped set up, and in an attempt to save herself, she pulls Zoro down in her stead. It's a common occurrence in One Piece, and it's one that I absolutely love. As a person with bad anxiety, I often lose myself in the fear that things will spiral out of control, just like it does here. Sometimes it does fall apart at once, and it feels hopeless from the beginning. Our heroes are scattered across the island, Kuro has already killed someone in the mansion, and the best fighters, Zoro and Luffy, are nowhere near the actual fighting. Yet, Usopp, Luffy, and Zoro never give up. Zoro uses his swords to get himself up the slope, Luffy probably runs around the entire island, and Usopp doesn't stop fighting. At the end of the day, Usopp is not a strong fighter, and the power of friendship will not change that. Let's be clear, Usopp has lost this fight. When we see him grab the pirate's ankle, a fruitless attempt to slow them down that will almost surely lead to his own death, it feels like pure desperation. But whether or not it was the right move, he was able to slow them down. He did everything that he could, keeping them away from the village long enough for Zoro and Luffy to arrive. Perhaps it's dramatic to say that Luffy and Zoro showing up felt like the most uplifting and satisfying way to end the episode, but it's how I feel. The fact is, the world is messy, and it can feel like the odds of things working out plummet by the second. Sometimes it feels like nothing you do makes a difference, and the goal ahead feels so distant. But just doing what you can is important. Sometimes the torch needs to be carried just a few more inches. If we trust and respect the people around us, we can make sure that we keep moving towards that positive outcome. If you like this episode and you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to do this for every single episode of One Piece, so make sure you're following along so you don't miss an episode.